I know I haven't talked about the college admission scam thing in a while. It's probably been about maybe 2 weeks, maybe since I last spoke about it. But maybe it's a good thing I didn't talk about it because maybe I was waiting on something like this to drop. So now I can finally speak on some people that no one is really familiar with. And that is Davina Isaacson and Bruce Isaacson. Now, these two names, if you remember, when I did the exposing video back in March, these were two names that popped up. But you don't really hear about them because they weren't really anybody famous, but they do have a lot of money. And they have now become the first parents to plead guilty in the role that they played with the college admission scandal. I'm going to go ahead and read this article coming from the San Francisco Chronicle. A Bay Area couple on Wednesday became the first parents in the college admission scandal to plead guilty as a part of a deal that could lead to lighter sentencing in return for cooperation. I'm not in the least bit surprised that they will receive a lighter sentence. I'm just actually kind of taken aback that this article actually stated that they will get it. Now, if y'all remember, I've said before that whenever they plead guilty, 9 times out of 10, excuse me, they will receive a lighter sentence. But it's rare that they'll actually put out there that that's what they'll receive, but we know that's what the case is. That's why when I heard about Lori Loughlin and her husband saying they were pleading not guilty, I'm like, y'all do realize that if you get found guilty and you're pleading not guilty, they're taking away the plea deal and they're going to throw a lot of years at you. But I guess they feel confident, but that's their prerogative. It says the scandal in which 32 wealthy parents allegedly got their kids into elite universities, including Stanford, through bribes, fake test scores, or phony applications, shocked the nation. Well, it shocked the nation. It didn't really shock us, who were aware of stuff like this happening, and led college applicants everywhere to question the fairness of the admission system. Bruce Isaacson, age 62, a real estate developer, and Davina Jackson, age 55, of Hillsborough, pleaded guilty. Notice it said that he's a real estate developer, but when it mentioned her name, it just mentioned of Hillsborough, just basically a location. Basically, it's saying this woman's a socialite, aka she's just with him because he has money. She don't do nothing but just became a baby making machine for him so she could secure her bag. Basically is what it's saying. This is pleaded guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud for paying an admissions consultant to get their two dumbass daughters into UCLA and the University of Southern California for sports they did not play. Now, that's the same thing that Lori Loughlin and her husband did with their two daughters. Bruce Isaacson also pleaded guilty to one count of money laundering conspiracy and one count of conspiracy to defraud the Internal Revenue Service. Under the plea deal, the Isaacsons admitted to paying $600,000 to former college admissions counselor William Rick Singer to facilitate bribes to coaches to help his younger daughter and to cheat on entrance exam for both of his daughters. Singer has pleaded guilty to setting up a phony charity called Key Worldwide Foundation and orchestrating the fraud. According to the Justice Department, the Isaacsons also deducted the bribes from their federal income taxes by calling them charitable contributions. That alone should get them a lot of jail time. They done mess with the IRS, but then again, look at how much money they have. They're just going to gloss over all of that. Yet, when it happened with Wesley Snipes and Lauryn Hill, they came beating down their door, and to the point where Lauryn Hill had to even serve jail time. Didn't Wesley have to serve jail time? Or if it didn't serve jail time, his career definitely took a hit because of it. Also Wednesday, the Los Angeles Times reported that a Chinese family paid $6.5 million to Singer to have their daughter admitted to Stanford. If y'all remember, I just recently did a video about that. The government hasn't charged or named the family, though prosecutors have said the sailing program took in $500,000 in donation from Singer's nonprofit linked to the third student. Her application included fabricated sailing credentials. Stanford later said it had rescinded the student's admissions. Stanford sailing coach John Vandemoer has pleaded guilty to accepting $270,000 in bribes from singer's charity to recruit two teens with little boating experience. The Isaacksons' guilty plea is the first among the parents involved in the case. The couple issued a contrite statement after agreeing to plead guilty on April 8th. No words can express how profoundly sorry we are for what we have done. They're only sorry because they got caught. Our duty as parents was to set a good example for our children. That's not setting a good example if that's their intent. And we have harmed and embarrassed them by our own misguided decisions. That's probably the only honest thing they said in this little statement. We have also let our family down, friends, colleagues, and our entire community. We have worked cooperatively with the prosecutors and will continue to do so as we will take full responsibility for our bad judgment. While those cooperating with authorities are likely to receive leniency as sentencing, prosecutors noted Wednesday that the maximum fines and sentences for the crimes are harsh, up to 20 years in prison for conspiracy, fraud, and fines ranging from $250,000 to $500,000. First off, that's not that harsh for people who have that kind of money. It's really not. This guy's a real estate developer who makes millions of dollars a year. Whatever fine he's going to have to pay and whatever fine he's going to most likely have to pay on behalf of his wife is pennies to them. Especially if he's been doing this for years. And from the looks of it, it looks like he's had some years under his belt as a real estate developer. A lot of these people that are doing this are doing it because they want to flex how much money they have. They didn't have to do it. They chose to do it. Sentencing is scheduled for July 31st in federal court in Boston, and all prosecutors have charged 50 people with crimes related to the scandal, including college coaches and an athletic director. I'm not going to really go into the rest of it because it goes into some other extracurricular stuff outside of who I'm talking about. But yeah, them getting a license doesn't surprise me. Like I said, it only surprised me that they actually put it in the article and admitted that that's what would happen, even though we already figured it out. I figured it out. If they plead guilty, that's basically them taking a plea deal. They're going to get a lighter sentence. Either they're going to serve months in jail to probably a year, and that's about it, and pay a good amount of fines, which, like I said, to someone like him is nothing because he's a real estate developer who makes millions of dollars per year. End of story. And that's going to be, and you know what, that's going to be the same case with a lot of the people that are involved with this scandal, whatever you want to call it. The only people that are holding on for dear life right now are probably Lori Loughlin and her husband. They are the only two people that I've heard so far with this who have pleaded not guilty, which to me is dumb, considering if they're going to give a plea deal to everyone else who pleads guilty, what makes you think you're so special? And you are literally like the face of it because of your celebrity status. But I digress. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one.